Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday Night Net of the Ozarks Amateur Radio Society. This net meets regularly on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on this frequency of 146.97 with a PL tone of 162.2. My name is Wes and my call sign is AE0OC. While this is not an emergency net, if anyone at any time has emergency traffic, please call break. Does anyone have emergency traffic? Please call now. Hearing none, I will move on to announcements of interest to amateur radio. I will be using NetLogger for check-ins on this net, and anyone who wishes can check in early by monitoring the OARS net there. The Ozarks Amateur Radio Society meets on the second Saturday of the month at the Happy House Restaurant in Monette, Missouri. The meeting is at 7, but everyone is welcome to come at 6 p.m. to eat and enjoy some good conversation. Individuals pay for their own meal, but you do not have to eat to attend. You also do not have to be a ham to attend. Everyone is welcome, including family members and those interested in amateur radio. The next meeting at the Happy House will be Saturday, December 10th. This will be our big OARS Christmas party and our officer election. There will be a Chinese gift exchange with a $25 limit for anyone who wants to participate. You do not have to participate if you do not want to. More to follow. Plans are in the works for the first annual New Year's Eve net. This will be a multi-club event, hopping between different repeaters and net controls all evening until we welcome in 2023 at midnight. It will be a fun night for hams all around southwest Missouri to join in. Multiple check-ins in Ragchu are very much encouraged, and all the fun will be streamed live on the 5-9 Radio YouTube channel and the Smart Facebook page. Also, this net is now being streamed on the 5-9 Radio YouTube channel, so if you want to see how you sound on the radio or miss part of the net, you can go to 59radio.com for details and a link to the channel. Are there any other announcements of interest to amateur radio? Please call now. All right, well, hearing none, we'll move on into some check-ins. I'm going to start things out and try for Harold, K0SQS. He said he would have to be short time if he was going to be able to be on tonight. So, Harold, if you're listening, here's your chance to go short time.
K0SQS, short time. Thank you, Wes. We're just about to sit down and eat dinner, so nothing for the net. Thank you very much. Take care. K0SQS, clear.
All right, Harold, thank you for your check-in and enjoy your dinner. I just finished mine a few minutes ago. So we'll move on to our NetLogger check-ins. We've got KA0SPM. Steve, how are you tonight?
Well, Wes, I am doing a lot better than I was. Good news on the car. We should be picking it up tomorrow. They didn't bother to call us that it was done until I was already on the way to take Patty to work.
Well, that's good news. And it figures about the timing, but still, it's very good news. It's a whole lot better than having to scrap the thing. So, have you been doing anything fun radio this week?
Oh, a bit. Well, mostly just clean up. Trying to get things situated on the bench so I can get radio stuff built and prepared. So that's my life lately, and much else. So it's still in a progress. So I think that's cool. So anyway, Wes, thanks for running the net. Back to you, KA0SPM.
All right, Steve. Well, I have to say I'm doing a lot better myself. Still not 100%, but I'm getting there. And while I'm at that, I wanted to also thank Zach for running the net for me last night while I was sick. So, Steve, we appreciate your check in, and we'll hopefully catch you next week. So, this is AE0OC. Let's move down to our next one on the NetLogger list. It's KE6GAE. David, how are you doing tonight, and what do you have for the net?
Good evening, Wes. Hopefully I can get in the repeater. I'm having a little hard time hearing, but I think that's some interference on my end. We're doing pretty good. Just sitting here relaxing. Hopefully you're feeling better. And don't have a whole lot more for the net tonight. Just thought I'd try to check in and give you guys some numbers. KE6GAE, back to net control. Hopefully everybody has a good rest of the week.
Well, David, you were getting in real good, so any interference receiving is strictly on your end. Your transmit's getting into the repeater really well. All right, well, let's move on down to the next one on our list. We've got K0GUN. Gordon, how are you tonight, and what do you have for the net?
I'm fine, Wes, and thank you for calling the net. I have nothing for the web, but I'm thankful for everything that we have, and I'm glad that we're here today to call it. Thank you. I'll be clear. K0GUN.
Well, all right, Gordon, we appreciate you being there. This repeater's really working out well for us. I'm really thrilled with the way things are going. So I'm glad to have you and hope to hear you next week. This is AE0OC. We'll move on down to W0ZAC. Zach, how are you tonight, and what do you have for the net?
Doing good, Wes. Doing good. Thanks for running the net tonight. Hopefully we can beat that 17 check-in mark. We seem to be stuck right there, so if you're out there listening, tonight's the night to jump in. Let's get to 18. Not much happening down here today. I've been doing a little more work on those QSL cards. Came up with another design more geared toward that specific event at Apple Butter. So I'll send a copy of that out tonight. It's got a picture, like an aerial view of the square during Apple Butter on one side, and a little excerpt about Apple Butter Making Days on the other side with our club info. So I'll send that out for everybody to look at and take your pick. W0ZAC, back to a net control.
All right, Zach, I don't know. You may be giving us too many options there. Every one of the ones you've sent out so far was a pretty nice looking card. So looking forward to seeing what you send next. But I'd say that any one that everybody picks will suit me just fine because they all looked really good and professional. So appreciate you checking in tonight. And like I said, I appreciate you last week too. Let's move on down to our next NetLogger check-in. We've got WB9YTG. Tom out of Aurora. How are you tonight, Tom?
Doing well. Good evening to everyone. I'll be in and out. 73 WB9YTG.
Well, all right, Tom. Well, thank you for checking in with us. Hope to hear you again next week. And if you have something you think you want to say later on in the net, just call Recheck and we'll put you in there. So this is AE0OC. Let's move down to our next login, and that is KE0MPI. Paul out of Springfield. How are you tonight?
KE0MPI, this is Paul. First time on your OARS net. I was just seeing if I could reach your repeater.
Well, Paul, you're getting in full quieting and sounding really good. Good strong signal. So how you been doing? And been up to anything good radio-wise?
Well, I did attend the Nixa Ham Fest Saturday morning. Went in there with a little bit of a mission to come away with the power supply and SWR meter, so I accomplished both of those things. Other than that, that's about it radio-wise. I know I'm already tired of the cold weather.
Boy, I'll second that one. I've seen it snow. It's time for spring. I wasn't able to attend the Nixa Ham Fest, but I did have some things to sell, and I sent them with Bob, and he sold both things that I sent. So I am in the market to buy a new radio now. So I'm looking forward to getting that ordered and getting it in on and installed into my van. It's going to be a FT891. So I'll have HF in the van for a change. That'll be really cool. So appreciate you checking in tonight, and glad you found some good buys at the Ham Fest. This is AE0OC. Let's move down to Marvin in 0MLP. How are you tonight, Marvin?
Well, good evening, Wes. Doing well. Glad to hear you're on the up. So appreciate you doing the net tonight, and hope everybody else is doing well. Haven't been doing a whole lot today, but it's been a good day. My dad got a deer this morning, so I was glad to hear that. I'll probably be going over and hunting his property sometime this week. I did get my boom mic and mixer all installed here. I had to make an adapter for my 7100, so got that all working, so I'm hoping it's sounding all right. But other than that, I think that's about it on this end for me.
All right, Marvin. Well, you're coming in crystal clear tonight. I'm really glad that things are working out where that repeater and your radio are getting along now. So, but the boom mic sounds real good. You got good audio, that's for sure. So, I guess we'll let you go, and we'll catch you next week. This is AE0OC. We're at the bottom of the list. Do I have any check-ins for the OARS net?
AE0OC from KF0HOD.
All right, well, we picked up one more there. We got Bob out of Clever, KF0HOD. How are you tonight, Bob?
Doing well, Wes, and glad I had an opportunity to check in with you tonight. I knew I've got good coverage to your machine. Just a new net. I keep forgetting that it's on Tuesday, and I just happened to be scrolling through something and saw an OARS something or other, and it reminded me that it was today, which actually I thought today was Wednesday, so I was double backwards. Good to hear everybody, and I'm glad to be heard. I'll turn it back to you, AE0OC from KF0HOD.
Well, Bob, you're a day ahead of time, which is better than me. I'm usually a day behind. So but we appreciate you checking in. And I have to set alarms on my phone to remember anything, it seems like. So I've got alarms for all the nets set. But appreciate you checking in tonight. And we'll move on down. This is AE0OC. Any further check-ins for the OARS net?
Kilo Echo 0, Mike Alpha Delta, K0MAD. Sean in Aurora.
KQ0Q, Kilowatt, Quebec, 0 Quebec, Lansing, Springfield.
All right, got a couple more of you there. Let's move to KE0MAD. Sean, how are you doing tonight, and what do you have for the net?
Well, good evening, Wes. Yes, K0MAD. It's good to hear. It sounds like we got at least two people I've never heard. Paul, I want to welcome Paul to our net. and this KQ0Q. I don't know that I've ever heard of him either, so don't know the name yet, but I'll say welcome to him also. Boy, hopefully we'll break a record tonight. And thanks for doing the net, Wes. This is K0MAD.
All right. Well, thank you, Sean. And I don't know that I've ever heard Lance on this net before, but I am pretty familiar with him. So I guess we'll move on down to him, KQ0Q. Lance, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. Went out to eat for lunch and had a good meal. I've been spending the day trying to tune up a 10-meter vertical. I got it pretty close to where I wanted it. I left it that way, and then the radio decided it didn't like it. So I tried to tune it again, and been having a dickens of a time. But I guess I don't have anything else more important to do, so that's what I'm doing. If that last let me reset here. That last gentleman had gone to the Ham Fest. Paul and Lance were taking tickets from 8 to 10 o'clock, so he probably knows this now, but if not, then we're still a mystery to him. That's it for me. Back to Ned.
All right, Lance, appreciate it. As long as you're not freezing to death out there working on antennas, that would be the bad side of things, that's for sure. I've been trying to stay inside myself, but I had to go out for a while today, and it was cold out there. So appreciate you checking in. I'm going to say 73, and we are at the bottom of the list again. Any more check-ins for the OARS net? We still need quite a few to hit that record.
Kilo Alpha, 0, Romeo Mike, KAZRM. I'll try it again. Sean plowed me under a while ago. Bob and Aurora.
KF0HHH, Kathy in Greenfield.
All right, we got a couple more in there. So let's go with KA0RM. Bob, how are you doing tonight? And I've had Sean plow me under before too, so don't feel bad.
Good evening there. I need to go to the emergency room, man. Sean just smashed me down good, man. I'm hurting. Doing good. Just wanted to say I talked to Zach a while ago, and he said check in by proxy. He is at the hospital up there with his wife, and he wanted me to give an update. She had surgery yesterday, and thyroid surgery. Everything went good. She had a pretty rough night last night, but she's doing pretty good there right now. And he said he's out in his car, so he may go out there and get it if he checks in. I said, well, try to get it, see if you can check in. So anyway, that's what's going on here. I'm glad everything went good with her. And just as you come back on, there was somebody else checked in that you plowed under too. He's pretty weak here, but I did hear him. Let's see here. Yeah, you mentioned the Christmas party and stuff like that. Mo Gordon down there. Oh, it was Kathy. Kathy up there, I think it was there in Greenfield. I think it was her that you covered up. But I think that's about it there, Wes. You're sounding chipper tonight. So we'll catch y'all later. Kilo Alpha 0, Romeo Mike and Aurora.
All right, Bob, so I can get him in there. Help me with Zach's call again.
Man, why'd you ask? What's Zach's call? I forgot.
W0ZAZ or KD0COR.
COR, yeah, COR there, Wes.
All right, thanks, guys. and I did finally remember it after I'd asked you, but I don't hear from him enough on the radio is the issue. If he'd just get on the radio and talk more, we'd all remember it. So, and I did hear Kathy in there when she called earlier, so let's move on down to her. KF0HHH. How are you tonight, Kathy? And what do you have for the net?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing tonight, Wes?
Oh, I am getting better and better as we go, so I'm just thankful for that. I'm still not 100%, but I was better when I saw you Saturday, and I'm better now than then, so every day gets a little bit better. That's what matters.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
So has everything been going okay for you guys out there? And you have to tell us if Little Nevaeh's been up to any honoriness in the last few days.
No, she hasn't been. She's actually been really good. I failed Friday, so I've been pretty sore, and she's been taking care of me. And Melissa got sick on Sunday, so she took care of her, and she's just our little nursemaid.
Yeah, I can see her being a nurse, that's for sure. And let her know that I'm looking right now at that picture that she drew for me. And so I haven't moved it to the refrigerator yet. It's still sitting here on my desk where I can see it for the moment. And so appreciate you checking in tonight, Kathy. And we'll move on down and see if we've got anybody else. Let's any further check-ins for the OARS net, please call now.
AE0WRU.
Comment.
All right. Well, Sean, let's go ahead and do your comment real quick, and then we'll move to Bob.
Yeah, ZXL in Marionville. You're coming in simplex, so check your radio. You're not coming in on the input. You're transmitting on the output of the repeater. I can hear you, but I don't think anybody else can. You're transmitting on 9.7 instead of 3.7. Check your radio. KE0MAD. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for that, Sean. Hopefully he can get it set up and make it into the net tonight. All right. Let's go to Bob. KE0WRU. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm getting a little better. I had my back out of place, got that kicked back in gear. I'm walking anyway. Other than that, I guess I'm doing pretty good. It's good to hear you, Wes. Haven't talked to you in a while. Missed your work at Dragon Fest the other day. You was there, you was coming, and I was going. I missed that. Doggone. Then my daughter, I guess she missed you up there at Springfield up there. I mentioned you, and she said, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Well, so much for that. Anyway, I thought I'd jump in and see if I could break the tie for you. And, Wes, I guess I'll hand it back to you there. KE0WRU.
All right, Bob. We're still one short of even making the tie with the record yet, so we need a couple more really to break the record. I was kind of hoping that maybe Marjorie would check in, and we might get Harriet to check in. We could get a few of them drug in there if we could, you know. We can make it if we tried. So this is AE0OC. Do I have any further check-ins for the OARS net?
You might get Mel to check in from Mount Vernon, KF60Z.
Absolutely, Mel. Go right ahead.
Nothing going on here, but it's beginning to look like winter.
Boy, that's for sure. I don't like this cold stuff. I never have really liked it.
Well, I kind of cope with it. I still have my real winter clothes that I had when I was in Wisconsin, and occasionally I have to dive in and get some of those out, and manage to keep warm somehow.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. It cuts through me. That wind just absolutely cuts through me like a knife. I don't really care for it at all. So is Ona around handy where she could check in?
No, she's in the other room on a video call visiting with family, so I don't think I could get her attention right now.
All right. Well, I'm trying. You just tied up the record, so we need one more to break it. So with that, I guess that I will say 73 to you and try to get one more. This is AE0OC. Do I have any further check-ins for the OARSnet?
A0 RWD, Kilo 0, Romeo Whiskey Delta.
This is Fox Kilo Foxtrot 0 Hotel Dixie.
Kilo Echo 0, Zulu X-Ray Lima. We had to go to the big radio.
Kilo Echo 0, November Hotel Lima, KE0 NHL, Heather and Clever, no traffic.
KE0 YMZ.
All right. I got several of you there. We definitely blew this record all to pieces. And so, and I missed one in there, so I will get to you here in a second and call for you. But let's start out with K0RWD. Ron, how are you tonight, and what do you have for the net?
I think like I'm just about every rest of us. I don't care for the cold weather. I don't like looking at the snow, but I guess it's really not a choice. But anxious to see how many we can get on the net. It was sort of like an avalanche. But other than that, I don't really have anything else. I had to get a heavier coat when I went out this morning. So with that, I'll just say 7-3 stall, K0 RWD.
All right, Ron. Yeah, it has definitely been cool enough. There's no question about that. And I don't like it. But we do appreciate you checking in tonight. And you actually boosted us up over the line to make that record number there. And very much appreciate that. So we're going to move on down. KF0HHD. Marjorie, how are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, like I was telling your daughter earlier, I'm doing a lot better. So very pleased about that. So I hope everything is going all right up there you guys' way. And sounds like you've had some mishaps and some sicknesses going on around the place. Are you happen to be the mother hen to take care of everything now?
Well, not really the mother hen, but I'm pecking along at it.
All right. Well, you keep them all lined out and make sure that they start getting well and behave themselves. And otherwise, we'll have to stick Nevea on them. So appreciate you checking in tonight, Marjorie. I'm going to say 73 to you and move on down. to KE0NHL. Heather, how are you tonight?
AE0OC, this is KE0NHL. Good evening to you as well as everybody on the net this evening. I'm trying to kind of get over being sick here. It started Thursday when I was at work and kind of peaked a little bit over the weekend, just kind of dealing with some of the remnants of it now. So trying to kind of keep the cough at ease and keep the sinuses at ease and stuff like that and get it all cleared out of my system. But other than that, hasn't been too bad. I'm in my second week now with burgers, so we will see how long that actually lasts.
Well, I'm glad that it's going well for you so far. Hopefully it'll continue to do so, and it'll make a good job for you. So have you been able to do anything radio-wise lately?
No, not so much. Last person I talked to over the radio was actually Brad, and I talked to him when I was heading home from work last week, and that was when I was actually planning on going to the Ham Fest on Saturday. So did not end up going to that, but I just got up Saturday morning and did not feel good at all, and I thought, not chancing it. So didn't get a chance to go this time around, but since I'm working first shift, I've kind of missed out on my nets in the morning on the fusion side, so it is what it is. I mean, I still got to work, so.
Oh, yeah. You got to pay them bills, that's for sure. Well, if all goes well, on Thursday we will have a D-Star repeater up and going, so you might keep that in mind. But appreciate you checking in tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and say 73 to you and go to KE0YMZ. David, how are you tonight?
Good evening, Wes, and everyone on the net. I'm doing all right. I've had my best day in the last 2 weeks. I've been on that sick train too, the chest and sinuses, and but probably the best day that I've had in 2 weeks. So I'm doing well. I was actually kind of laid out in the recliner in the other room, just listening to the net, and I decided I would come in and at least check in for the numbers. I've been having some difficulty getting into this repeater, so I kind of thought I'd just kind of lay out since I wasn't feeling too well. But I'm glad I did, and just checking in for the numbers. Glad to hear you're feeling better, Wes. And we'll say 73. KE0YMZ, David, West Springfield.
Well, David, you're getting in a lot better tonight than you had been the last couple of times I'd heard you on here. So I'm glad to know that it's working a little better for you. I don't know if you've changed something or if it's just conditions or what's going on, but whatever it is, you were a lot clearer tonight than you have been in the last few weeks that I've talked to you. So I'm going to say 73 to you. And I missed a call sign during that big batch. And if you called in earlier and I did not call back to you, please give me your call again.
Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Mike Juliet.
Kilo 5, Alpha, November, Whiskey.
Kilo Echo 0, Zulu X-Ray Lima.
All right, I got 3 more of you in there. So, and I think that the last one was the one that I had missed earlier. So, but we'll start up at the top of that list with KE0OMJ. Roger, how are you doing tonight, and what do you have for the net?
KE0MJ. Oh, not much going on. I'm just trying to stay warm. And got the dogs hanging out and just watching TV. Then I heard you say something about needing one more. And I think you ended up getting 7 or 8 more. So, anyway, sounds like a good night. Hope everyone's doing okay. KE0OMJ.
All right. Well, appreciate it. We're getting there on these numbers. I'll tell you what, Zach's got his job ahead of him to get this one beat, I'm telling you. This is definitely way past our normal max, so we're really glad about it. Better coverage from the repeaters made a big difference, that's for sure. Appreciate you checking in tonight, and we're going to move on down, and I hope I've got this call sign right. K5ANW, is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct. My name is Daryl, and I'm in Springdale, Arkansas. I was told about your net yesterday, I think it was. Got my radio program and decided to try it. So here I am. Over.
Well, you're coming in really good, so I'm impressed. You must have a pretty good rig to be making it that clear from that far away. But you're sounding real good.
Thank you. The radio is a Nikon 746 SM50 mic, a GP9 antenna that's up at around 60 feet, give or take just a little bit.
Well, it's doing it. It's working for you, that's for sure. And we absolutely appreciate having new check-ins and new people get on the net. So, and we've had a few of them tonight, too. So everybody that has, it's been great having you here. And we hope that we'll have you again next week. Did you have anything further for the net?
Just a question. I'm not sure about the time you start. Would you give me that, please?
Absolutely. It's 7 p.m. Central Time.
All righty then. I will try to 7 o'clock, and I'll try to check in a little bit earlier next week. Thank you very much for picking me up. I really appreciate it. This is K5AW 73.
All right, Daryl. And since you weren't there for the beginning announcements, I was going to tell you that we live stream this net to the 5-9 Radio YouTube channel. And you can find that easily by going to 59radio.com. And then right below, at the very top of the page, there's a link to the OARS net. And you can listen back and hear yourself and see how you were sounding coming into the repeater and into my radio. So if you want to do that, you're welcome to. And we'll be glad to have you again next week. So hopefully we'll see you then. This is AE0OC, 73 to you, Daryl. And let's move down to KE0 Zulu X-Ray Lima. Looks like Miles out of Marionville.
So Echo Zero Zulu X-Ray Lima. I was trying to hit you on the handheld, but I guess the frequency I was on was simplex, and so I'm going to have to get with somebody to check this handheld out again. And so I had to go to the big radio out in the truck.
Well, that one's definitely getting you in good without any problem at all. So, how have you been, and what do you have for the net tonight?
Not much. David there at Aurora, he gave me a magnetic mount for my mobile home, but I need to get an adapter because it's male and I need a female adapter on the end to screw into my handheld. But other than that, it's okay. So, like I said, I'm going to get with somebody and figure out what frequencies I've got here and which one is the for the repeater, so I can use the handheld in the house. Otherwise, I got to go out in the truck and use this big 40 watts that I've got to
hit the repeater.
Yeah, well, at least you're able to get there, though. So even if you do have to use the bigger radio, at least you're getting in okay. And I'm sure that you'll figure out the programming on it and get it switched from Slimplex to the repeater settings and get the PL tone in and all that stuff set right. So hopefully we'll hear you again next week. And we're down at the bottom of the list again, so I'm going to say 73 to you, Miles. And this would be lucky number 25 if we get one more. Is there any more check-ins for the OARSnet? All right, well, I'm going to give it one last call, final call for the OARSnet. If you're able to check in, we'd love to have you. AE0OC, call now. All right, well, I'm going to call that a net then. Had 24 check-ins, including myself, and that is definitely by far a record. We very much appreciate everyone who checked in. We appreciate all the new check-ins we had tonight. We love to have newcomers, and we love to have new regulars. So all you got to do to be a new regular is, if you checked in the first time tonight, check in again next week. So appreciate every one of you. I'm going to say 73 to everybody and return the repeater back to normal operations.
E0OC, KA0.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
It was good tonight. I hit about 90% of them. I was catching on reverse on Simplex. The band was good.
Yeah, and everybody was coming into the repeater real good, too. So, I mean, everything just worked out real nice. That's a nice record, though, that's for sure. But I'm going to hop off of here and button up the live stream, and I'll catch up with you guys after a bit. AE0OC.
All right, we'll be sitting here. KA0.
W0ZAC, way to go, Wes. A new record.
Got your work cut out for you.
Thank you, Zach. Now you just got to take it to 25 next week.
Alrighty, well, we'll see what we can do. I had to skip out after my check-in. Had to jump out and help out with dinner cooking. I didn't get back in there until you had that 24th check-in. Like, holy smokes, that's amazing.
All right, I'll catch up with you here in a little bit. AE0OC.